Just 17 kilometers from Kolkata, in the town of Kanagar, an unimaginable crime shook the small community. An 8-year-old boy named Shreyansh was found brutally murdered in his home. His cousin was the first to arrive at the scene, only to be met with a horrifying sight. Shreyansh lay on the floor, covered in blood. His wrists had been slashed, his head was smashed, and his body was riddled with injuries. A kitchen knife lay nearby, and the room was eerily silent except for the loud hum of the TV, left on purposefully to muffle the noise of the crime. When the police arrived, they were baffled by the sheer brutality. Who could hate a young child so much to murder him so violently? The body was quickly sent for post-mortem. While Shreyansh's parents were inconsolable, their world shattered. The investigation began with a close examination of the house. Strangely, there were no signs of forced entry, no valuables stolen, and the family dog, who would normally bark at strangers, had not made a sound. These clues pointed to one terrifying possibility. The murderer was someone from within the house. The police checked phone records, hoping for a lead, but found nothing. Next, they turned to the CCTV footage from the neighborhood to see who had passed through the area between 2 and 4 p.m., the estimated time of the murder. One clip caught their attention. A woman, masked and walking through the street, seemed out of place. Her body language raised suspicion, so they showed the footage to Shreyansh's parents. His mother, Shanta, didn't recognize the woman, but his father, Pankaj, immediately did. It was Ishrat Parveen, a close family friend who often visited their home. Anshu even called her Mausi, meaning aunt. This new revelation led the police to wonder if Ishrat's relationship with Pankaj went deeper than just friendship. They checked Pankaj's call records but found nothing unusual. However, when they looked into Ishrat's call history, the story took a different turn. On the day of the murder, her phone had been switched off for 7 hours, and she had been having long, late-night conversations with one number regularly. That number belonged to Shanta, Anshu's mother. Suspicions grew, and the police brought both women in for questioning. It wasn't long before Shanta broke down and confessed to the unimaginable. She had murdered her own son, with Ishrat's help. The motive? Earlier that day, Shreyansh had come home from school unexpectedly and walked in on his mother in a compromising situation with Ishrat. Confused, hurt, and angry, the young boy had begun to argue with his mother. Shanta, consumed with fear that her secret relationship would be exposed and ruin her reputation, decided to silence her son forever. In a moment of unimaginable cruelty, Shanta smashed her son's head against the wall, then the table, and finally hit him with a heavy statue. But even that wasn't enough. From the kitchen and slashed his wrists, waiting until her own son breathed his last. The police had cracked the case, but the horror of a mother murdering her child to protect her illicit relationship left everyone speechless. The clue that led them to the truth was simple. The dog didn't bark. From there, they realized that the killer was no stranger. It was someone from within the home. This was the story of a mother's betrayal and the tragic end of an innocent life, all in the name of secrecy. Could there be a crime more horrifying than this?